Welcome back to the Teed Up Golf Podcast. Yes, he's here, the great man, Lucas Herbert, LIV Golf Virginia champion. Mate, welcome to the potty. It's been a long time coming.
Been a while since I've been on, Q. Thanks for having me. The new title's got a nice ring to it.
It does, mate. You know one thing. Well, actually, my journalistic integrity will be questioned, mate, if I don't ask you this off the top. And I know you're getting asked a lot of questions lately, you LIV Golf players, but what is your Chick-fil-A order?
It depends a bit on the day. They've got a very versatile menu that's quite good. I think today was a rough day, so we went rogue. It was just a regular Chick-fil-A sandwich. I'm not a pickle guy, so get rid of the pickles. And then slice of American cheese on there. Played well last week, so treated myself. And then they got good sauces there. So barbecue sauce, honey mustard sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce, get a bit of that around whatever you're eating. Dip that all in there. Treated myself to a shake today too, a cookies and cream shake. So yeah, it was a good day.
Why not have two, mate? Unbelievable.
Other than getting papped in the mall, yeah, it was a good day.
That's when you know you've made it, mate. I'll be up in the Great Bendigo. I'm going to go to the marketplace tomorrow and see if someone will pat me.
There's no Chick-fil-A at the marketplace though, which is probably the only downside of the Bendigo Mall. But
yeah, there's Shanks as well. Anyway, mate, congratulations. You're a winner now on every tour you've played on. PGA Tour of Australasia, PGA Tour, DP World Tour, Asian Tour, now the LIV Tour. I was talking a couple of months ago, yeah, there was that chip on your shoulder with Elvis coming in and going whack. You've done it now, mate. You're an equal, as you would calling yourself. You've done it. How good does it feel?
Yeah, very, very good. Like you said, I've joined the list of rippers now that have won an individual event. So, I'm allowed to. I've been added to that group chat, which is nice. And yeah, it was. To sort of do it the way I did it was very satisfying. I think the stat was I led the last 58 holes, which was not good for my sleep on the weekend, but and probably not good for the sleep after we got home either. I gave it a good nudge, making sure we celebrated it hard. But yeah, very, very satisfying to win wire to wire, and something I'm quite proud of.
Yeah, you and your team, like it's spoken about a lot, the team that you carry with you, from Pew Dog to Erica to Dom to Bothy to all the team, Jonah, all the crew you work with. Like you're well known for just surrounding yourself with the team to make you perform your best out on the golf course. You've been working new equipment over the last 12 months. Like how much work has gone into this win, and how satisfying is it compared to your other wins as well?
Yeah. It's hard to rank wins. They're all special in different ways, and a lot of time you can only beat the guys in front of you in the field. So some weeks you play unreal, and there's sort of not really the high caliber players there to beat, and some of the wins in events that look like they're smaller actually are pretty impressive. So it's tough to rank wins on that side of things. But yeah, a lot of hard work goes into all of them. Winning's not easy on any tour. You don't care any less, no matter what tournament it is. You're still nervous as hell coming down the stretch because you're a competitor and you want to win, regardless of who you're playing against, who's in the field, what the trophy is, how much money you make, anything like that. You just want to win, and you care about that, and you care about what that looks like on your career resume. So, very, very satisfying and very rewarding for all the hard work that has gone into it.
Yeah. Is Pew Dog getting heavier every win?
Yeah, I'm having to get stronger to hold him on the 18th green. It might be his wallet. I'm not sure. No, he's doing a great job, the Pew Dog. He deserved a big cuddle after the preparation he did last week, because there was not a lot of preparation that I did.
Yeah, mate, it's mentioned here. I've got it written down. You're pretty sick throughout the week. How tough physically does that? How much of a toll does that take on you? Does it sort of make you relax a bit more? You got less to, like, you're sort of worried about feeling well. Does the golf just take care of itself then?
Yeah. I picked up the flu, I reckon, Monday night. Monday night, Tuesday morning was one of the worst sleeps I've ever had. We're flying up on the plane with Leish from his charity event, and I looked like death up the front, huddled in a corner with my hoodie on. And I was supposed to go and practice and just went straight to the hotel. So I was on all sorts of medications throughout the week, which Dr. Ara promises me is good to go because we had a drug test. I had a drug test on Friday. So if any of it's not legal, we'll know we'll know pretty soon. But it might have been a blessing in disguise because I was sort of taking some pretty heavy stuff to try and get rid of the flu or at least the symptoms for it. And that might have helped me sleep a bit better, I think. So it might have been a good thing come the weekend when I slept on the lead for 3 nights. Might have been a blessing in disguise in some ways. And I was lucky the golf course wasn't too hilly. It was pretty flat once you got sort of down off the first tee, and it wasn't too much of a physical test walking around it in that respect. So that probably helped me out a little bit too.
Yeah, 64, 63 to start. Wire to wire, like you said, it's probably the hardest way to win. I think Elvis did it at the start of the year as well. He sort of paved the way in Riyadh for you boys to get going. Mentally, like you're competitive. You're one of the most competitive people I've ever met. Like when you're winning, like do you just go foot on the throat, or does your game plan change? Like because I remember in Riyadh, you didn't have the right balls for the first round, and then you got them, and then you shot the lights out. You probably would have won that tournament as well. Like, where's the mindset go? Sleeping on leads versus coming from behind to win.
I actually said to Pewee, like, honestly, one of the hardest things about that whole experience was probably the time between finishing the round on Friday and teeing off on Sunday. It just, you spend so much time, obviously, in the hotel or in a restaurant or laying in bed, in the shower, whenever it is, and your mind's just got so much time to think about it. And the Saturday round was tough. When you're 6 in front, you've played some unbelievable golf. It feels like there's a bit of like, where do we go from here? So it is tricky to reset goals. And I thought I did a really good job on Saturday of sort of like, I guess, doing my own thing a little bit. I had my own goals set scoring wise, and did a pretty good job of sort of not paying attention really too much to the leaderboard. And I probably late in the round just wanted to make sure that the lead was sort of far enough there that I think we might have had a 8 or 9 shot lead over Bryson going into the final round, who was third. And I would say the rule of thumb in golf is probably like you need to be within 7 going into the final round to win. There's probably not many cases where guys have come from outside of 7 shots. So I felt like if I could keep everyone except Sergio outside of 7 shots, it was probably going to be, they needed me to do a lot of work to help them out to win the tournament. So by doing that, it was in my own hand, and I was sort of able to focus on my own stuff on Sunday, and not have to worry about guys shooting the lights out to come catch me.
Yeah, well, Bryson tried. He shot 6 under, so he probably gave you a few scares there early when he went birdie.
Yeah, and to be fair, the quality and the class of player he is, I expected him to. I expected him to get off to a hot start, and you knew he was going to do it. And the same thing with Sergio. When he birdied the first, it was I guess I expected it in a way because these guys are so good. If I was in their position, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. And in a lot of ways, I had nothing to lose. So, I expected those guys to come out fast and put the pressure on. And yeah, again, it was another game to play mentally within myself to just not listen to too much of the noise going on there and really get caught up in what I was doing and worry about that.
Yeah, speaking of the mentals, rain delay with a couple of holes to play. I think you were coming off a bogey as well. Well, it wouldn't have been great. How did you manage that? The rain looked like it was coming in pretty heavily. Pew Dog had his work cut out for him. I've caddied in the rain before. It's not very fun. Like,
it's a nightmare, isn't it?
Where did you go to then, mate? Like, you had 2 holes, and you did look down the camera after you hit your approach on 18 and said, "Can I enjoy this yet?" Which I did have a good laugh at 6 a.m. here with my 4th cup of coffee. But like, how was that, mate? How did you manage that little delay in play, and was it a godsend? Like, what happened?
Yeah, it was a bit of a funny one because it was. We got held on the tee box there for 5 minutes, so we sort of didn't really know what was going on. And then once we got told we were coming in, we were on carts, by the time you get past, there's quite a few spectators out there. With Bryson being in that final group, he pulls a really good crowd, and there's a lot of spectators to sort of duck and weave through on the cart. So once we actually got back to the clubhouse, I think I walked in and sat in front of my locker for no word of a lie, 20 seconds, and we got told we're going back out. So I sort of didn't have really any time to think, any time to stew on it too much. To be honest, like with the rain coming down, it was probably not the tee shot that you wanted to have, with water left, any moisture on the ball or the driver face just wants to slide off the club right. So I was really not looking forward to that tee shot if it was going to be in the rain. And once we came back out, the rain had stopped. So I was probably happy about that. And then I think as well, like you look at those final 36 holes and there was 8 or 9 sort of momentum changes between me and Sergio. And I felt like there was kind of a momentum change happening there. He parred 14 and I missed a short one. We sort of both birdied 15, then he pars 16 and I make a bogey. And it was sort of, it was coming back that direction. And I felt like maybe the rain delay was probably the thing I needed to stop that momentum. So as hard as it kind of all was, it was actually maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise. And then, I don't think he hit a great tee shot on 17, and then probably hit a poor layup into sort of the semi cut or the first cut of that sort of semi cut of rough. And then, I've hit probably one of the best thrills in my life, and then a great 4-iron onto the green. And once I'd sort of done that, it was probably going to be pretty hard from there for him to win. So, it was the momentum sort of switched there in that stage. And once I kind of rolled that short one in for birdie, I felt like a 3-shot lead up the last. I was going to have to do something pretty catastrophically wrong to lose it from there.
Yeah, you were going to have to, mate. But you scored really well on the par 5s. Obviously, 17 par 5 birdies all week. Second, I think you had an eagle and 3 birdies. Par 3 sort of grabbed hold of you late in your rounds,
Yeah.
But you got it done. Walking up 18, knowing that feeling, you got it done. The whole team's there. The great thing about the Ripper team is you're a big family. Everyone in that team knows how it feels to win, and now they could share it with you. The boys absolutely peppered you with the champagne. What was that feeling like with Leish, Elvis and Cam, and obviously Erica and the team there as well?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Like I think those boys knew how much I wanted to win. There was a couple of comments that got made last year from them when I was having a pretty good run earlier in the year, and they sort of you could feel they wanted me to win as well in some of these events. And I could feel that from some of the comments that were made, like nothing bad or nothing putting pressure on me, anything like that. You just, there was just a couple of things that was said that just, I felt like they wanted to win. They wanted me to win as much as I wanted to win. So it was pretty awesome. And like, our whole team that was there on 18, which sort of shows our characters. Everyone's so close. We all really want each other to play well and win. And we're so happy for each other. And I think Cam and Elvis were almost a bit apologetic that they couldn't really party properly with us because, they're off to the PGA this week.
Yeah.
Cam was sort of texting me later, almost like, quite apologetic that he couldn't knock a few tins back with me. But, I've reassured the two of them that if they win this week, we might be struggling to show up to Korea if one of those two win this week at Aronimink, because we got a bit of celebrating to do. So, that was awesome. And especially too, like the people that had put a lot of work in with me, like Katie, my physio, brought on Aspire, a sports doc this year. These two have worked pretty hard early in the season to sort of get me into some good shape, and it probably shows being pretty much having the flu and being able to win a tournament like that shows the sort of state I was in physically and from a health point of view.
Yeah. Into a major, mate, into Shinnecock, where a bit of a full circle moment for you. You played your first major there, I think it was 2017. How cool. Like one of the great golf courses in the world, one of the great logos for a golf course in the world too. I love the Shinnecock logo. But that's pretty cool to get that qualification, mate. I know you put a lot of work into qualifying for majors, obviously going to play international series a couple of weeks ago and Aussie Open and all that sort of stuff. Like, how cool is that to get another US Open start, especially at Shinnecock?
Yeah, super thrilled. I mean, the best thing is I don't have to do a 36-hole qualifier. You've obviously got one of those for the British Open, the Open Championship. Sorry, I'm in America. I keep forgetting the Open Championship, and one for the US Open. Avoiding both of those, like my legs are just thanking me. Because when I remember being 16 years old and playing, Ivor Witten events around the state, 36 holes on a Sunday, and loved it. Played 36 holes last year in the Open qualifier, and my legs were just about falling off by the end of it. So I'm very happy not to have to go back to those. But yeah, as you said, like going back to Shinnecock's awesome. 2018 it was the US Open. There was my first, and just how raw I was at the time, how inexperienced, like, and as I should have been too. Like, everyone needs to have a first experience at major championships and sort of, be the deer in the headlights and learn from it. And I think I learned a lot. I've reflected on that event a lot, since playing it. So it'd be really cool to go back and play the same golf course, and see how much I've learned and see how differently, the strategy is this time around. And hopefully shoot better than 83 in the first round, which I think was what I had last time.
I hope you do too, mate. I might be punting on you that week. It's going to happen, mate. Off the course, I saw the jet. You guys flew back as a team, back home. Tell us about the celebrations, what it was like. Married man now, first win as a married man. Erica by your side, she's added a lot to you. You've grown up a lot since you met Erica, in my opinion. I met you before. I was pre-Erica, and now I know you after, and you're a much better person for it. But, how was that sharing it with family and friends? I saw the FaceTime with mum and dad back home. Like, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I think we had a lot. I had a lot of Erica's family there last week. Before I got the flu, I bought a spot in the Pro-Am on Wednesday and then 2 tickets to Club 54, with the proceeds going to Alicia's charity, Begin Again. Nice. So I bought that in the live auction. So as soon as I bought that, I messaged Erica's dad, who was coming anyway. And I was like, bring your clubs. Let's have a hit on Wednesday. So that was really cool. And then Erica's cousins, they come out whenever they can, and I text them and I was like, hey, look, I got these 2 tickets. Like, if you guys want to come, you're more than welcome to have them. So they drove down from Indiana. It was like a 9-hour drive. So we had a bunch of family there, which was awesome for the win. And then I think there was only going to be 3 or 4 of us coming back here to Orlando after the win. And all of a sudden it was like this last minute, like, all right, add this person to the manifest. Yeah, add this person. So by the end of it, we'd filled the plane. And yeah, it was I think the pilots somehow didn't run out of duty time because we were a lot later than we expected to be. And yeah, just had a great time on there. No, it was nothing crazy. I mean, once we got home, we tucked in nicely and celebrated it, and had some really good times. And I think it's Tuesday now. We've been going 48 hours, and it's a lot of fun. It's something that I've wanted to win a LIV event since I got on the tour. It's really hard at the top end of the league. There's some really, really high quality players, as you see with John Rahm and Bryson and Waco and these caliber of players every week that are just showing up and playing some unbelievable golf. So I knew it was going to take some really good golf to get there, and I'm super proud of having that trophy now and adding it to the resume to know that I've beaten these guys.
Yeah, mate, the world ranking points, I don't know if you know this, you've gone from 171 in the world to 89, so you're back inside the top 100. Which is great because when you left the PGA Tour, you're around that 90 mark as well. That's cool. So the opportunities are obviously going to open up that way. What does the rest of the season away from the LIV Golf schedule look like for you? Obviously, the Aussie Open at Kingston Heath, you had a great tournament there, 18 or 24 months ago now. You got Riggs Johnston, like the rest of the field did that week. But, what does the rest of the schedule look like? You've given so much back to Aussie golf. Are you going to come back and play a bit more here, or you still don't know yet? Still going to sober up and see what happens?
No, definitely going to come back at the end of the year and play some stuff. We're still we're still figuring it all out a little bit. Like, obviously the live landscape's changing quite a bit, so I'm not 100% sure on what my commitments are going to look like there at the end of the year. So yeah, just trying to juggle all that at the minute to work out what it looks like. But I'll definitely be back at the end of the year to play some golf in Australia.
Nice.
I love coming back and playing those events. We know Rory's going to be at Kingston Heath, so it's definitely, talk about people that you want to beat in tournaments. That's a guy that I'd love to knock off in our home open, home event. And obviously we've got a Masters invitation for the winner of the Aussie Open too. So that's something that I would love to do. I've got a few mates that have definitely put their name at the top of the list for tickets if I manage to get my way back into Augusta National again. So we've got some golf coming up in the off season. I definitely will get back and play. I don't want to announce the schedule that's not been approved and not been ticked off by everyone yet, and get hopes up that I shouldn't get up. So yeah, I'll definitely be back. I'm just not sure what for yet.
Yeah, he'll be at the Axdale Pro-Am. Everyone relax. It's locked in. Don't worry about that. We'll see him there. They're great, man. Mate, the LIV Golf stuff, obviously there's been a lot of noise here in Australia. We love the tour, what it's brought to domestic golf here in Australia. World-class golfers year in, year out. Amazing event. Actually, you see that champagne bottle up behind me? That was from 2 years ago. I found it in the back of the cab as I was getting out from the party I was at with you guys, and it's signed by Cam Smith. So that's amazing.
You'd have been sober when you got out of that cab for sure.
Definitely. But how's the feeling amongst you guys? There's been so much noise. We're a bit sheltered here in Australia. We get all the secondhand, media from the US and the UK. But how are you guys feeling? Like, is it just business as usual? What's it been like behind closed doors, as much as you can tell us for you guys?
Yeah, I think the first week was quite jarring just because no one really knew what was going on. We're sort of getting, we hadn't really gotten any info from within the league yet, because I think they were still scrambling to figure out sort of what was going on, where the leaks of information were coming from, where they were going to go next, essentially, and probably just get a good understanding of where things were to be able to talk to the players. So I think the first, we were in Mexico that week, and the first week in Mexico was definitely a strange feeling. No one really knew what was going on, and I think by the end of the week, we had a meeting with Scott, the CEO, and I think he did a great job to reassure the players that everything was being done in our power to keep the tour going and keep it thriving the way it is. By a lot of the measurements and metrics that we run by, our tour is going really, really well. So I think there was just, there was a bit of communication there that needed ironing out, and I think it's been ironed out now. I think there's better channels of communication happening now with all the players to keep us much more informed, and then we're having a lot more. We're definitely having more regular meetings as well with Scott to keep us posted as to what's going on, and probably getting more accurate information that's it's straight from the horse's mouth rather than run through different media outlets that are biased, whichever way you want to call it, and having their opinion on what they think LIV Golf is, and and probably they're hearing it secondhand through other people or rumors that they've heard as well. So I think we've now got a better understanding of what's going on, and strangely, I think the league is actually in a good position. I think we're now in a position where we can move much faster with a lot of stuff, which is really good. As far as people being concerned about LIV Adelaide, that's an event that I don't know whether I'm speaking out of pocket, but I think LIV will look different next year. The tour will definitely look different. It'll be restructured in a different way, and that's part of the business plans that are being produced now and formulated and worked out. But I think part of every business plan is LIV Adelaide. We've seen how much of a success the event is. Mm-hmm. We've seen how much Australia loves it. We've seen how much the players love it. We've seen how much everyone that's involved loves that event. And I cannot see a world where that event doesn't go ahead. So I don't know the exact landscape of what LIV will look like, and I don't think anyone does yet. But I definitely don't see a landscape where LIV Adelaide is not happening. And um, the support that we've had from the South Australian government, the future that they're investing in with Australian golf too. Obviously, we just saw the other day they announced getting the Australian Open in either 27 and 28.
28 to 34, 6 years they're locked
20.
in.
There we go. Sorry, I didn't read that press release well enough. With the investment they've had there, getting the Australian Open for 6 years, I think that's great, and we don't take that lightly, and we want to make sure that we keep going back to Adelaide because there's some great golf courses there, and
absolutely,
if Greg does a good job like we think he will with this North Adelaide venue, it's another gem to add to the city.
Absolutely, mate. Some quick hitters to finish, mate. You've been so generous with your time. What's the best shot you hit all week?
I'm gonna say,
there wasn't that many of them, mate. You shot 24 under.
The best shot I hit for the week, I think, was probably the flop shot I hit from the back of the 12th on Saturday.
That was brutal.
That was pretty special. But a probably underrated one was the putt on 11 on Sunday, just to halt the momentum that was sort of going the wrong direction after I made an absolute meal of the ninth, and then Sergio sort of made back-to-back birdies to really start closing that gap. I think that birdie I made there on 11, was a pretty pivotal point in that last round.
Yeah, the big fist pump. Who was best off course Sunday night? Who'd you give your votes to?
I'm not sure how many people. I don't know of the crew that I had. I'm not sure how many of the teed up audience were going to know who any of them are. One of the coolest people I had here. I played the Western Amateur in 2014 in Chicago, and I had a host family there, the Hennessy's, who have basically had me back every year since. They've been awesome to me, supported me, early on in my career financially, gave me a house and a bed to stay in, helped me go to Q school, all these sorts of things. And Kevin, who's sort of, I guess, one of the sons of the family, he's a couple of years older than me, but was a big part of that whole process. Kevin was on the plane and came down and partied with us. So I'm going to say he was best on ground Sunday night. He was moving all over the shop by the time we got back here, and was in good form.
Kevin's made a mess of himself. What's it like in the final group with Bryson and Sergio, two of the, one of the, I don't know, Sergio can still call him a modern great, and Bryson, like, who knows where his career is going to finish. He could just go on a massive run, or he could, explode and just become a YouTuber. No one knows what he's doing right now. I don't think he does. But what's the chat like in the group there? I've had fleeting interactions with both of them. I had Serge on this podcast, nice guy. What was it like, in the final group with them? And young Lucas Herbert would be going, I beat them too in the final group. That'd be pretty cool.
Bryson was actually pretty good. Bryson was pretty chatty. I think it was probably because I was probably far enough ahead of him at that stage that we were keen for a chat. And then when it got closer, I think then we might have kept a bit of distance. And then once that gap opened up again, then I think he was chatty with me again. But no, Bryson was great. Honestly, I was chatting to him about a lot of. He's got a role within the US government, helping out. I'm not exactly sure what he does, but we were just chatting about a lot of stuff that he does in there, and a lot of stuff that he's seen is pretty interesting. He's a phenomenally smart guy, and it's always interesting listening to him speak. You might not agree with what he says, but he's always got a well formulated opinion. So I always enjoy having a chat with him about his views on the world.
Yeah, interesting. What's more dangerous, a sick Lucas Herbert or a healthy Lucas Herbert?
I'd like to hope a healthy Lucas Herbert, but last week's results are proving otherwise.
You'll be licking every window in America, leaving into Korea.
Yeah. Where's that cruise ship off the coast of Africa? Get that thing in here so I can play some good golf in the next few weeks.
Now, Johnny and I are playing Royal Nyanga Park tomorrow. Could I get
Yep.
some score predictions? My current handicap's around the 6 mark, and I think Johnny's around the 12. What do you got for us?
What's the preparation going to look like? You told me you're teeing off at 8:20. Are you going to see the parking lot before 8 o'clock, or
Nah, I'll be Epsom Macca's coffee about 7:59. Pay the green fee and off I go. Yep.
All right, so that's a good start. I think you're probably in for a good day off the back of that. I'd recommend trying to pick up the flu between now and then. It seemed to work well for me recently. If you've got a Sharon, have a kick of that around in the car park.
Oh, how's the peg on Billy Hewitt, by the way? My God.
Yeah, Billy's. There's a lot of asphalt marks on that Sharon, and none of them have come from his kicks. They've all come from me hitting a few shanks out there in the lot. But no, I'd pull the Sharon out, couple of kicks around to the footy there, see if you can avoid a few of the members' cars, or the local panel beater might be handing out business cards. 6 handicap queue. What are we playing? Are we playing Stableford? What are we playing?
Yeah, Stableford, hopefully.
Stableford. I'll give you. I reckon I'm gonna say you're gonna have a good day. I'm gonna say you're having 38 points. What's Johnny's handicap? Never
About
seen
12.
Johnny play golf.
About 12.
He's 12 handicap. Oh, he'll burglar around Nyanga Park. 40 points for Johnny. I think you two are in for a good day.
You are way too kind, mate. You've been amazingly generous to us over the years, and it was really special to see you win the other day. Had my 2-year-old up. Now she thinks every pro golfer who's on TV's name is Lucas, but that's okay. So, mate, congrats from us. We're really happy, and I think I speak on behalf of all the Australian golfing public. Everyone was pumped for you, mate. So, congrats. Enjoy the win. Get back to your game of Jenga or Spa, whatever you're about to go and do. And thanks for giving us some time.
No, Q, thank you very much to the Teed Up podcast for always supporting us. We like to give back as much as we can, however we can. You guys are always great supporters of, especially us on LIV. So, yeah, thank you for everything you do. And, hopefully it's not too long before then you have another beer.
Can't wait, mate. Good on you. Thanks, Herbie. Bang.